Tyler, great job, man. Thank you so much. He got to introduce my wife, Kamala, too. It's pretty good. He showed me a picture. And my sister-in-law, Maya Harris, how amazing is she? But even after SNL last night, she's still my favorite Maya. Although the other Maya is pretty good too, right? But I got to tell you something. We are right near the end. Just got a couple of days left, a couple of hours left. So it means so much to me to be on the road with family in these final days of the campaign, because family is what this is all about. Our daughter Ella was with me yesterday in Pennsylvania. Our son Cole joined me in Las Vegas a couple of days ago, and we actually got to see Kamala speak with J-Lo too. So, but we've gone everywhere. I have been all over this country, backwards and forwards, for the last 15 weeks. And what better way to finish strong than here in Atlanta with my pal, Governor Tim Walz. And man, you're in for a treat with Michael Stipe, the Warren Treaty, and John Bon Jovi. Now, I actually grew up about a few miles away from John Bon Jovi, believe it or not, New Jersey, Old Bridge, you know, and he's such a legend, but he's such an awesome person. The way all the things that he does for his community and his country, I'm very proud to call him a friend. And Kamala actually got to be with John and the Warren Treaty yesterday in North Carolina. And I'm thrilled that we're all here with you today. And John is with his wife, Dorothea. They've done so much for the campaign. Kamala and I are so grateful to them. And the proud son of Athens, Georgia, Michael Stipe. It's so surreal to me to be like a lifelong REM fan. I mean, diehard fan. I mean, I saw him in concert in the early 80s, and the fact that he and I have become friends over the past several years is just incredible. But Michael has worked so hard. He's such a stalwart throughout this entire campaign, supporting us in so many ways, including performances for us in Pittsburgh and in his hometown of Athens, Georgia. And he's been all over social media. And the Warren Treaty, our new friends, I just got to meet them, but I've seen their video. Tanya, Michael, thank you so much for all you've done along with John. We appreciate you. Now let me talk and brag a little bit about Tim Walz. Tim is awesome. So I actually first met him when I was second gentleman, when I went to Minnesota for a small business tour. And Minnesota is ranked as one of the top 5 states to do business. And Tim's work as governor there is a huge part of that. So I can tell right away that this is a guy who just gets it. He's a great leader, he's a great dad, he's a great coach, and he's been an incredible running mate for Kamala. And I'm going to tell you this, Georgia. Tim Walz is going to make one hell of a vice president. All right, Atlanta. How are we feeling about winning right here in Georgia? Because I am so fired up by the energy in this room, and this is the same exact energy that we are feeling on the ground all across the state of Georgia and all across the country. And I'll tell you, we feel it every single time we see Kamala speak. I barely got to see her at all. You may have seen her in person more than me these past 15 weeks. And I hadn't really seen her speak in person since the convention. And I was sad about that. I caught glimpses. I'm out here working. I'm trying to help her get elected. I don't have time for it. I mean, we're doing this. So I went back, I was on the road, I wanted to make sure I could see that speech on the ellipse in D.C. I wanted to see it. So, you know, to see her in front of all those people, I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, my wife, such a badass, but it was really the first time since the convention that I could kind of experience the whole thing with her. You know, getting ready at the residence. We rode together for the first time in a long time, seeing thousands of people lining the streets, waving at her. You can literally see people crying. You can see the emotion. That was just in the car. So surreal for me to experience that. And as her husband, but also as an American, as someone who loves his wife and loves this country, I have never been more proud of her. And we saw a president on that stage. We saw a leader with a positive, inclusive vision of America that we can all be proud of, and an America that we all have a place in. This is our country. And reflected in every face and every crowd at her rallies, and right here tonight, is the affirmation that Americans are ready to turn the page. We are sick of this guy, aren't we? It's been almost a decade with this guy. It is time to move forward, and move forward with my wife, Kamala Harris. People are tired. They are just sick and tired of this. We're sick and tired of being told we have to be angry all the time. We're sick and tired of hearing we have to be divided. We're just sick of it. And quite frankly, people I meet don't want to worry about politics all the time. They want to worry about their own lives. So as Kamala said it, I think we all agree, we are done. We're done. Turn the page. Because don't you agree, we have so much more in common as Americans than what divides us. We know that as friends and neighbors, and I see it everywhere around this amazing country of ours. And everywhere I go these days, I'm knocking on doors too. Have you knocked on doors? It's fun, right? So thank you for your hard work for those doors. So when I go canvassing, it's a little bit different because I got the Secret Service and I got all these people around me. But, you know, so most of the time we're kind of going to a couple of houses that they know we're coming, but they're still excited. But I was in Las Vegas and someone comes running out of their house. I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on here? Comes running out, and it was a man who just flagged me down, and I just went up and he said, I am a Republican. And he wanted to tell me that Kamala Harris was the first Democrat he's ever voted for in his entire life. He told me he could not take another Trump term. He could not take the chaos. He did not want his freedom taken away. He did not want his benefits, Social Security, Medicare taken away. And like so many like him, people are putting country over party. And that's what we need to do. And that's how Kamala is going to be as president. When she was a prosecutor, she never asked a victim if they were Republican or a Democrat. She only asked, are you okay? What can I do for you? And she said that she will be a president for all of us, for all Americans. So, just 15 weeks ago, folks, it's only been 15 weeks. So when the country needed a leader, Kamala was the one who stepped up. Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work. She secured that nomination. She united the party. She picked an incredible running mate in Governor Walz. And Kamala and Tim have put forth a policy agenda focused on you, your health care, your cost of living, your goal of starting a business, your path to building generational wealth, and protecting your fundamental freedoms. Her solutions to the challenges you face come from listening. She actually listens. And Kamala always asks me, Dougie, how was your day? And we talk about the people that I meet, that she meets, and the stories that you share with us, the struggles, your dreams. My wife cares about what your life is actually like. She understands the hurdles in your way, and she has actual concrete plans to keep you moving forward. But we know this campaign has required more than having the right policy proposals. Kamala had to take on Trump and his little sycophants each and every step of the way. You know, those little, so unbelievable. And she did it making her case. She did it on the debate stage, and she's done it all across America. She's done it because women are dying. They're dying right here in Georgia because of the Trump abortion bans in more than 20 states. Women like Amber Thurman. Now, Trump saying he will protect women whether they like it or not is, come on, come on. Oh, and he's also saying that RFK Jr. will be in charge of women's health? Does that sound like a good idea to you, Georgia? Women want rights. They don't want protection. Women want rights. They don't want protection. And they're not going to be gaslit and lied to by the guy responsible for taking those rights away. I was in Philadelphia last night. A group of young women came up to me. We were at the team dinner. They told me they had voted for Kamala, and then one of them just started crying. She said she lives with her mother, and all they can talk about these days is just how vitally important it is that Kamala wins. And again, just the emotion. This is what we're hearing, experiencing all over the country because it's that important. She's talking about her own rights, but everyone's rights, and also about what's going to happen in the future. So, look, we need to take this very seriously right now. I mean, we're right at the end, and I know you all see that. And what we need to talk to some of these folks that just don't quite get it yet, what an actual threat this guy is. Because you got to listen to what he's saying. It's not just a threat to reproductive freedom. It's a threat to all of our freedom, our very democracy. Just today, earlier today, I couldn't believe it, Trump said he shouldn't have left the White House at the end of his term. He said that. He just said it an hour or so ago. Imagine that. And Trump and his team are already making unfounded claims of cheating in this election. After the big lie when they, forced all these states under the guise of election integrity to strengthen or, make it harder to vote, now they're still complaining. And we know exactly why they're pulling these stunts. They're worried because you're voting in record numbers in early voting. And Georgia, if you turn out and vote, like you did last time, Trump's going to be looking to find more than 11,780 votes. And this guy was a terrible business person in his business, so-called business career. He's a terrible president on the economy. But if he gets back in the White House, our entire economy will be destroyed. When he was president, he added almost $9 trillion to the national debt with tax cuts for his buddies like Elon Musk and the largest corporations. This time around, economists of Moody's have predicted that his policies would trigger a recession immediately. Trump is doing this for a small group of people like Elon Musk. So people, you think he's for them, but he's not. He's not your friend. He's not on your side. So don't fall for it. So if you know people who are on the fence, tell them to do their research. Tell them to go online and see exactly what's coming out of his mouth. Show them what he looks like while he's saying it. It's falling apart. Do the research. But this election is not just about voting against Trump and Vance. It's about voting for Harris and Walz. Over the course of this just 15-week campaign, it's only been 15 weeks, Kamala has shown the entire country and world that she is ready to be president. 20 years as a frontline prosecutor, elected district attorney of San Francisco, elected attorney general of California, elected United States senator from California, and our vice president. I would say she's qualified and ready to be commander-in-chief on day one. She will be a strong leader on the world stage. Why? Because she already is a leader on the world stage. She doesn't need to train for that. Kamala has made her argument, and America loves what it sees. You can feel it on the ground here in Georgia, you can see it in the polls, and you can feel the momentum. But look, this is a binary choice. She said it, and just picture this. In less than 90 days, one of them, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, is going to be sitting behind that resolute desk in the Oval Office. Think about that, folks. So it comes down to what kind of person and what kind of president we want behind that desk. Someone who's going to get there with his little Diet Coke button in his enemies list? Or someone like Kamala Harris who's going to get you-know-what done on day one? Kamala's the only choice. She's the only choice to move us forward as a country. And we just have 2 days left to finish the job and get her to the Oval Office. Now look, I know I look tired, I sound not great, and you know what? I should be tired. But you should be tired too, because we got to do this to save our country. Now, Governor Walz has said many times, I'll sleep when I'm dead. But I think that's extreme, Tim. I want to be around to enjoy your administration. So I plan on sleeping Wednesday. But for these next 2 days, we got to push through. We got to keep going until the polls close. We got to keep making those calls, knocking on those doors, making sure that everyone has a plan to vote. We don't want to have any regrets when this is over. It shouldn't be this close, but it is. Oh, I don't know if it is even. I think she's going to win by a lot. But we are going to win. On Tuesday, we're going to elect Tim Walz as vice president and my wife, Kamala Harris, as the next president of the United States. But there's more. Okay, so Tim. When Kamala and Tim took the stage together for the first time in Philadelphia just 14 and a half weeks ago, I met him that one time in Minnesota, but that was really the second time I met him, and I just got up on that stage and gave him the biggest bro hug in the world, because that's the kind of guy he is. And I have to tell you, I got a lot of texts from some longtime friends and some family members and said, what's going on? You never hugged me like that. But I said, well, he's awesome. I was excited because meeting him and his family, Gwen and Gus and Hope, you just knew Kamala made the right choice. You could just see it. And so to see Tim out there every day working so hard on behalf of this campaign, but on behalf of this country, it's been so great. So I've only got to see him a couple of times in between. This is actually our first event together. So I get to bookend that big bear hug from day one. Hopefully we get to repeat it when he comes out here. It is my honor to welcome to the stage a veteran, a teacher, a coach, a governor, a father, a man who embodies what it means to be an American and what it means to serve, and a leader who is ready to get to work on day one as your vice president. May I introduce the next vice president of the United States, my buddy, Tim Walz.